This is Chris with Eagles. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris with Eagles, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both my TikToks. It'll all be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE Friday Night SmackDown December 23rd, 2022 reviews. So here we go, discussing about Friday Night SmackDown. Now, this SmackDown was taped after last week's live episode of SmackDown. So yeah, this one's not live because Christmas is this weekend, which, yeah. So yeah, we kick off the show with the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Jimmy and Jay the Usos, Solo Sikoa, Sami Zayn, and Paul Heyman, the Bloodline. So yeah, the Bloodline makes their way down to the ring, and they started talking. Paul Heyman starts talking about the next few weeks is going to be historical for the Bloodline and all that, because tonight on SmackDown, the Usos will be defending the tag titles against Hit Row, and they will retain it and all that. That's what he was saying. Then he said next week we're going to be seeing Solo Sikoa versus Sheamus, and Solo beat Sheamus and get rid of him for good. And then he said next week as well, Roman Reigns will be teaming up with Sami Zayn to take on John Cena and Kevin Owens, and they will beat Owens and Cena as well. So yeah, that's what Paul Heyman was saying. Then Roman Reigns grabs the mic and he starts talking about how how he doesn't like John Cena and Kevin Owens, how Cena interrupted him and stuff last week, and he was just talking about stuff like that. But then he let Sami Zayn talk, and Sami Zayn was talking about how he thought how he should be on top of the world right now, be all happy, but he can't be, because all these things that he thought he had, being a part of like a family and all that stuff, and the fans chanting his name and all that stuff, he thought that, he's finally getting respect and all that. So yeah, that's what he was saying, and he was just saying that next week, that Kevin Owens and John Cena is going to do the same thing like everybody else, and that will be to acknowledge the tribal chief. So yeah, that's what Sami Zayn was talking about. He was just talking about how he's tired of Kevin Owens' name being tied to his name and all that stuff. That he got black cloud over his head because of all this. So yeah, that's what he was saying. But pretty good promo from Sami Zayn. Really good. Go check it out if you have yet. Pretty good segment so far. But still to come later on tonight, we will see Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus Imperium tonight in a tag team match. It will be a Miracle on 34th Street. It will be a street fight later on tonight. But up next, we're going to be seeing the Usos versus Hit Row for the tag titles up next on SmackDown. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was the first match of the night. It was the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Jimmy and Jay the Usos, with Sami Zayn at ringside, versus Ashante Adonis and Top Dollar with B-Fab at ringside, Hit Row in a tag team match, and was for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. So yeah, the Usos versus Hit Row for the tag titles. This match, it was okay. We see Top Dollar selling the leg injury because of what happened last week with the botch and all that stuff. So yeah, he's selling the leg injury a lot. But we get to the ending. At one point, we see Ashante Adonis rolling up Jay Uso, pinning him, but Jay barely kicking out too. And that's when Ashante Adonis hits a super kick onto him, and then he tags in Top Dollar, and then Hit Row hit their tag team finisher with a heavy hitter onto Jay Uso. They pin him 1, 2. Jimmy breaks up the pin at the count of 2. And then after that, we see Top Dollar trying to lift up both of the Usos at the same time, but he lets them go because his leg gave out. That's when Jay hits a super kick onto Top Dollar at one point while he was on one knee, and then he tags in Jimmy, and then both of them gets in the ring, hitting a double super kick onto Top Dollar. Top Dollar bounces off the ropes, comes back, and gets hit with the 1D by the Usos and gets pinned for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, the Usos defeated Hit Row tonight and has retained the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. That's what happened. It was an okay match. For that match, I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was okay to start off SmackDown. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then after that, we see Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanna Vinci Imperium get interviewed, and they was talking about the Miracle and 34th Street fight against Braun Strowman and Ricochet, and they was somehow they're going to beat him tonight and all that. So yeah, that's what they were saying. But up next, we're going to be seeing a Gauntlet match. Winner of that match will be facing Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship. So yeah, that match will be happening up next, and there's still many more stuff for tonight as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a number one contenders gauntlet match. So yeah, winner of this match will be taking on Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship next week on Friday Night SmackDown. So yeah, that's what this match is all about. So we kick off the match with the first two competitors. It was Xia Li versus Emma 101. Emma was doing pretty good, taking down Xia Li a few times. But then at the ending, we see Xia Li laying in some kicks onto Emma. Jumps up with the knee to the face or whatever onto her. And then she hits that, the spinning kick to the back of the head onto Emma. That I think they call it the Cyclone, I think it was. And then she pinned Emma for the 3 count. So yeah, Xia Li defeated Emma, and Emma got eliminated from the Gauntlet match. And then the next person that was next to take on Xia Li was Tegan Nox. She comes down there. She runs straight into Xia Li, brawling with her and stuff because of what happened last week on SmackDown. Both of them's going at it. They get on the apron and stuff, going at it, and then Xia Li hits that knee to the face onto her, and then Tegan Nox falls right back into the ring because of that. Xia Li starts laying in some kicks on her, and then she hits that spinning kick onto Tegan Nox, the Cyclone onto her, and then pinned her for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Tegan Nox got defeated by Xia Li. So Tegan Nox got eliminated. And then the next person that was up next to take on Xia Li was Raquel Rodriguez. She comes down. Both of them going at it. Xia Li was going after Raquel's arm majority of the time and all that stuff. At one point, she was trying to hit that Cyclone kick again onto Raquel, but Raquel moves out the way, and Xia Li, smacks the mat. And then that's when Raquel grabs her and then hits the Tejada bomb onto her and then pins her for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Raquel Rodriguez eliminated Xia Li from the match. And then the next competitor was Liv Morgan. So yeah, Liv Morgan was taking on Raquel, and then they was going at it. And it was pretty good between those two. That's when it started picking up the pace, in my opinion. The Gauntlet match was with them two going back and forth and stuff. Liv was going after the arm a little bit, but not too much. She kept on trying to roll Raquel up a few times. She tried to hit the Oblivion onto her a few times. Like at one point, she tried to hit her on her the first time, and Raquel slams her down to the mat. And then that's when Raquel picks her up, try to hit the Tejada bomb onto her, but Liv went over her shoulders and stuff and saved her herself. And then she kicks Raquel upside the head. Raquel, goes to the ropes pretty much, and then we see Liv try to hit Oblivion onto Raquel, but Raquel moves out the way, and then Raquel picks her up, hitting the Tejada bomb, but it was like not that impactful pretty much. But this is probably like the best match in the Gauntlet match, pretty much, So yeah, Raquel pinned her for the 3 count, and Liv Morgan got eliminated after that. And then the next person, which everybody thought was going to be the last one, it was Raquel Rodriguez versus Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville comes down, going after Raquel's arm majority of the time, grabbing it and stuff. She was sitting on the turnbuckles, with the arm bar and stuff like that. Referees counting, telling her to break up the submission. She lets go, and then she does it again, and then she lets go. And Raquel gets enough, goes underneath her, and then hits a Tejada bomb onto Sonya Deville, and then pins her for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Raquel Rodriguez eliminated Sonya Deville. It looked like we thought that Raquel has finally won the match, up until the SmackDown Women's Champion Ronda Rousey comes out, and she goes like, "Oh no, Raquel, you didn't win the match. You got one more competitor." And then out comes Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler comes down there, beats the hell out of Raquel, going at her arm and stuff, laying her out and stuff. Takes off the brace at one point, showing you off to the fans, got her back turned and all that. But while she was taunting the fans and stuff with the brace and stuff like that, that's when Raquel rolls her up for the 3 count. So yeah, Raquel Rodriguez eliminated Shayna Baszler, and she won the Gauntlet match. So yeah, next week on SmackDown, it will be Raquel Rodriguez versus the SmackDown Women's Champion, Ronda Rousey, 1-on-1 for the SmackDown Women's Championship next week on SmackDown. So yeah, that match will be happening next week. And Ronda Rousey quickly got into the ring, but Raquel quickly escaped. So yeah, that's what happened there. But yep, it was an okay Gauntlet match. For that match, I would say the best match inside that Gauntlet match was probably Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, in my opinion. But for the whole match in total, I would give the match 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. So yeah, it's just a lot of the matches ended pretty quickly and all that stuff. But yeah, that's why I'll give the match. But up next, we're going to be seeing Bray Wyatt. So yeah, he'll be on SmackDown up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing to happen on Friday Night SmackDown, now Bray Wyatt makes his way down to the ring, and he was talking about how it's still so real that he could, explain stuff to the crowd and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what he was saying. But then he starts talking about LA Knight, how LA Knight didn't believe him, that, he's not the one that, he didn't believe that Bray Wyatt was not the one that attacked him and all that. It was Uncle Howdy and him. And he was talking about how the crowd didn't believe him and all that stuff. Now, they knew they thought for a split second that it was him. But he's saying that it wasn't. It was all Uncle Howdy. And everybody thought that he was Uncle Howdy. So, yeah, that's what Bray Wyatt was saying. And then he's, squats down to the mat pretty much. And he says, hold up, I lost my train of thought. And he's standing there pretty much for like a minute or whatever, and then all of a sudden he just starts attacking the cameraman, throws the cameraman down to the mat, locks on the mandible claw onto the cameraman, choking him out and all that stuff with his fingers in his mouth. And then we see Adam Pearce and a bunch of producers and stuff coming out there, pulling the cameraman out the ring, and Adam Pearce going like, what the hell are you doing, Bray? So yeah, that's what happened there. It was okay stuff, a bit weird, but we're going to see how this plays out at least. So yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, still many more stuff to come later on tonight on SmackDown. We got Imperium versus Ricochet and Braun Strowman in a 34th Miracle 34th Street Fight or whatever later on tonight in the main event. And yeah, so yeah, still more stuff to come tonight on SmackDown. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a one-on-one match. It was Rey Mysterio versus Angel with Humberto at ringside in a one-on-one match. So yeah, Rey Mysterio versus Angel one-on-one. Now, what brought on this match was apparently last week on SmackDown on Talking Smack or whatever, Rey Mysterio was getting interviewed and stuff. Angel Humberto comes up interrupting him, talking crap, and then they challenge him for a match. So yeah, that's how we get the match. And Karrion Kross and Scarlett was watching this match through the crowd and stuff. So yeah, and it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. At one point, we see Rey jumping over the top rope with a crossbody onto Humberto, taking him out. Angel had a super kick onto him at one point, almost getting a 3 count, but Rey kicked out at 2. And then Angel picks him up and decides to try to put him on the ropes so he could hit a 619 onto Rey to show some disrespect. But then the referee pushes Angel back because Rey was fighting back and all that, so he pushes Angel back. And while the referee was distracted because Angel, Humberto punches Rey upside the head, and Angel runs to the ropes, try to hit the 619, but Rey quickly got back up already and hits a Hurricane Rana onto Angel, knocking him onto the second rope. Rey hits a 619 onto him, and then Rey jumps over the top rope with a nice DDT onto him, and then he pins Angel for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Rey Mysterio defeated Angel tonight on SmackDown. That's what happened. Pretty good match, though. I give that match 2.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. And then, after the match ended, we see a segment backstage with Braun Strowman and Ricochet sitting down, and they was talking how they're going to beat Imperium tonight in the 34th Miracle Street Fight later on tonight, up next. So yeah, that match will be happening up next, and it'll be the main event. So yep, that's what's going to be happening. Pretty good stuff. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later until then. So, the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown. Now, before I talk about the main event, there was one segment before that where we see Karrion Kross and Scarlett walking backstage. They run into Emma, and Emma was talking about, oh, you've been talking crap about Madcap Moss. And Scarlett said what she said, and then Emma slaps Scarlett, and Scarlett gets into Emma's face, but Karrion Kross backs her off. So, yeah, and they said that she's going to regret that. But, yep, that's what happened there. And then they showed a nice video package for John Cena after that for about to have a match for every single year for 20 years. So, yeah, that's what they showed. Nice video package. Go check it out. But then we get to the main event. It was Ricochet and Braun Strowman versus Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci Imperium in a Miracle on 34th Street fight match on SmackDown. So yeah, we get the match underway. It was a pretty good match. Going back and forth, they had tables, chairs, all that stuff. But then you got the Christmas trees and presents and cookies and all that stuff out there as well for Christmas stuff, you know. So yeah, going back and forth and everything. At one point, Ricochet was on the apron and he was about to jump off the top rope onto Giovanni Vinci. But while he was on the apron, Ludwig Kaiser hits him in the back. It looks like he hit him in the back of the head with the steel chair, so Ricochet was taken out for like majority of the match after that. And then we see Strowman getting taken out on the stage. And then Imperium decides to open up some presents. They open up one present, and it was a ballerina. So yeah, she was dancing and all that stuff. And then they decided to go open up another present, and it was the NXT Tag Team Champions, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, the New Day. They come out like nutcrackers and all that. Imperium slaps their hands, and they both got kicked in the nuts. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then Braun Strowman comes over there and starts beating down Imperium at ringside and all that stuff. And then he notices Ricochet's down. Now Ricochet's bleeding in the back of the head a little bit from the steel chair shot. And he grabs Ricochet, puts him on the barricade. He grabs a mistletoe and tells Samantha Irvin to come up, and she gave him a kiss, and they are dating in real life and all that stuff. So yeah. But yeah, Braun Strowman got Ricochet that, and Ricochet was hyped after that. He gets in the ring, starts beating down Giovanni Vinci and stuff. Ludwig Kaiser got powerbombed through a table by Braun Strowman, so yeah, Braun Strowman took him out, and then Ricochet hits the recoil onto Giovanni Vinci. Braun Strowman picks up Vinci, hits him with the running power slam, and then Ricochet was up there on the top turnbuckle, but then he gets onto Braun Strowman's shoulders, and he jumps off of Strowman's shoulders with a splash onto Giovanni Vinci and pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Ricochet and Braun Strowman defeated Imperium tonight in the main event for tonight's SmackDown in the Miracle on 34th Street fight. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good match. I'll say that was match of the night in my opinion. The Usos versus Hit Row was an okay match. Rey Mysterio versus Angel was pretty good. And I didn't care for the Gauntlet match, really. The match out of that match that was good was Raquel and Liv, in my opinion. So, yeah. For the main event, I'll give it 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. But for tonight's Friday Night SmackDown, I'll give it 6.5 stars. No, actually, I'll give it 6.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. The main event was okay, and the segment with the Bloodline was pretty good earlier, and Bray Wyatt's segment was a little bit weird, but it's whatever, pretty much. So yeah, that was SmackDown. Now, I don't know if I want to be doing my Monday Night Raw reviews, because they are doing I don't think they're going live or anything for Raw. I think it's just to celebrate this year. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be talking about Raw. I'll decide and see what happens, but if I don't, there ain't gonna be no review for it, so yeah. But other than that, I'll be talking about AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, and then SmackDown next Friday, obviously, with the matches. Now, they announced a few matches. Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn versus John Cena and Kevin Owens in a tag team match in the main event. Not only that, Solo Sikoa versus Sheamus 1-on-1, and they got Ronda Rousey defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Raquel Rodriguez. So yeah, those 3 matches are happening and much more. So yeah, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. It'll all be down there in the description box. And I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I will see you guys later.